All right, you guys, we are back. This is going to be chapter 10, and this chapter is all about how to prep your clients. Let's jump right in. Lesson 10.1 is going to be how to prep your client before their appointment. So whether or not you have a form that you send out to your clients, or you have an informational highlight on your Instagram or on your website, if you have a section for this, you definitely want to make sure you let them know before they come into their appointment how they should come in. So first and foremost, obviously, no mascara whatsoever, no eye makeup in general would be preferred, just because you don't want to get any of the oils, dirts, or makeup, stuck onto the extensions, or it's just dirtier that way. You can always do a lash bath or have them do a lash bath when they get there. So it's not the absolute worst case scenario if they come in with mascara or eye makeup, but you want to ask if they could just come in without. Of course, they should arrive with a clean face. Hopefully they don't have any oil skincare around the eye area or whatnot, but that is why we do want to do some sort of prep step, whether it's a bath, a primer, protein remover. You do want to do something so that you can make sure you're starting on a very clean blank canvas. No contacts, that's very important, just because the heat from the adhesive, or just because the adhesive itself can actually make the contact shrivel up. It's actually really scary, and there's videos out there if you guys want to go look for it, where it shows you what happens when you put a drop of glue right next to a contact. So we want to make sure no contacts when they arrive. They definitely should use the restroom before, so let them know if you have a restroom that they can use to use it, or if they need to use it before even coming over, let them know that. And then of course, let them know they should probably skip on the caffeine. I know when my girls have caffeine when they come in, because their eyes are just flickering the whole time, and it really makes it a lot harder for us as lash artists. Definitely let them know no caffeine. Day of prep for the lash artist is step 1, you want to start with your consultation. We've went into detail about this, so I'm not going to go over the details again, but ask them all the questions, have your consent form, make sure you guys are in on the same understanding and expectations of what's going to happen. And then step 2, after that, you could do your prep step. So removing all the eye makeup, whether you do a lash bath to prep the lashes, primer, protein remover, like we said, whatever it is that you do, go ahead and start that. And then that's really it for prep. You're all good to go. Lesson 10.2 is basically a video just showing you guys how to prep your clients, so hopefully we'll just play it somewhere over here. For the most part, if the client comes in and they know what to expect and you gave them all the rules in advance, it should be pretty fast. I would say my prep at this point with regular clients probably takes no more than 2-3 minutes, honestly, because they really just come in, they know they need to have clean eye area. I just do my prep and then I can get started. So nothing too crazy, should be pretty easy. Lesson 10.3 is all about lash baths. This is where we'll go into lash baths in detail. Why they're necessary: it removes oils and dirt residue. It promotes adhesive longevity because it can help cure the adhesive all the way if you're doing it right after the service. And it also just continues to keep the lashes clean, which is going to boost retention. It prevents bacterial growth, of course, because you're keeping your lashes clean. Preserves lash health, again, just because you're keeping it clean. It prevents any itching or discomfort, especially if they have like dirts and whatnot. It maintains the aesthetic appeal. If you've had lashes before, you know that when they get oily or just nasty, it's so gross and you just want to wash them. And once you wash them and blow dry them, they're just up and fluffy again, and it's the best feeling ever. It feels so new, so that's always a plus. And then all those things, because you're keeping it clean, because you're taking care of it, it boosts retention. If a client has a lot of oils or makeup residue when they come in, for the most part, they probably don't have that many extensions left, because oils, residues, and all that, it really does impact the lashes. Our shampoos are very popular. We have the foam pump ones, which are just always going to be bestsellers. We have the concentrate, so that you can make lash bath sets for your clients. You just buy foam pump bottles. You can buy those on Amazon, and then put a little concentrate and then put distilled water in, shake it up, and that's a shampoo you can sell. And we also have our whip shampoos. That has been one of the best sellers of this year. I think it's a breakout product in our industry for sure. A little goes such a long way with the foam shampoo, so it lasts forever. Artists have really been loving it. You could definitely sell to your clients too. They're a little bit more expensive and they're big, so clients might not like that as much as a regular foam shampoo, but for artists, so many of our girls in our community have been loving the whip shampoo. And we have scents and all of that as always too, so it's so yummy. Lesson 10.4 is a video, which again, hopefully we'll show here, but really all you do is you could do the shampoo, you could do the lash bath without the gel pad setup first, or you could do it with the gel pad setup. I prefer to do it with the gel pad setup. It doesn't make the gel pads wet or anything, but I just set up my gel pads all normal. I don't put the tape when I do the shampoo or the lash bath. So I just put the gel pads. I do one pump on each eye. I get either a spoolie, a micro brush, even a lip applicator, and you just kind of really get up in there. You use a drip bottle or some sort of bottle to, release the water, and I tilt their head, squeeze it, and then the water just rinses out all of that dirt and residue and oils and whatnot onto we have a bib towel that we use. Switch them on the other side, same thing, blow dry them, and then I put the tape, because sometimes if you put the tape and the gel pad and you do a lash bath, it can kind of move things down. So that's what I do, and then you blow dry, put your tape, and then you're good to start. So really simple. Everyone needs to know how to do it, and of course you need to teach your clients how to give themselves lash baths as well. All right, lesson 10.5 is primers. We talked about primer already, but basically it's a pre-treatment solution. It's meant to remove residue, oils, dirts, and also to balance the pH. We personally love it. I mentioned earlier in the chapters that it's technically not an essential. Some artists don't use it at all. Some artists believe in using protein remover over it, or just giving a lash bath in general over primer. But again, try different things. It's up to you guys. We really love lash primers, so we use lash primers on all of our clients. Clients where you'll see they will benefit the most from primers are clients that have oily skin, a very active lifestyle, therefore they have oily skin. If they swim regularly, it could help as well, because they are exposed to moisture and humidity, and that will reset the pH when you put the primer. And then if they wear a lot of makeup, or they just wear makeup on the everyday, those are great clients that are good candidates for primer. I noticed right away when I started using primer on my clients that had oilier skin, their retention changed completely. So highly recommend, at least for clients that need it. It's super easy. You can literally, if you don't do a lash bath in the beginning of your set, you can just pop on the gel pads, do the tapes or whatever your setup is, get a lip applicator or a micro brush, put a drop of the primer, and just go through the lashes. Just brush it through, blow dry it, and then you're all good to start. Lesson 10.6 is taping techniques. So tape is used everywhere. Like we said, it's lash artist's best friend, because without tape, oh man, I don't even know what we would do. There's so many different types of tapes, like I mentioned before. There's just the regular paper tape, there's the Japanese paper tape, there's Nichiban tape, there's micropore tapes, there's sensitive tapes. By far, sensitive tapes are the most popular. The material of them is just more gentle on the eyes for the client, so it's more comfortable. I do seal down the bottom lashes on the gel pad, but besides that, the other taping techniques are for you to be able to use the tape to maneuver the lashes so that it's easier for you to see all the lashes and to do your placements. So I always do the tape up method. Once everything is set up, I use a tape on the eye that I'm working on, and I pull it up wherever I need. So sometimes if I'm working on the middle, I'll pull up the middle. If I need the outer corners to be easier to access, I pull out the outer corner, and then especially when I'm working on the inner corners, I pull up the inner corners. You really can use them anyway, but it's to help you see the natural lashes better, and then once you lift the lashes up a bit, it makes placement a lot easier too. Only put the tape on the eye that I'm working on first, because you don't want to lift up their eye and kind of expose them to the fumes any more than you need to. And then once I'm done with that one eye, I switch to the other eye, and then I use it however I need. We've talked about this previously a bit, but the tape back method is a great method to expose some natural lashes, especially if clients have a lot of layers or if you're first starting out. And that is when you use a tape to either pull up extensions or pull up natural lashes, or pull down extensions and pull down natural lashes, in order to expose more natural lashes so it's easier. So like we mentioned before, the most popular is you put some extensions on first to wherever is easiest, then you use a tape, make sure you detack it, pull it up and then kind of stick it on their lid so it holds it up there, and either natural lashes will already pop out, or you can go in with your tweezers and just kind of dig out a layer of natural lashes. It's so helpful for beginners because when you have less to work, when you have less natural lashes there, it's easier to isolate and it's just easier to see for your placement. Because I think the scariest thing when you're first starting out is just seeing so many lashes, and it's so overwhelming. So this is a great step to help when you are starting out. A lot of videos on our course, so definitely make sure to go take a look. But the tape back method is really great for, again, with the layers, with isolation for beginners, with just better vision of what's going on. Layers are so important, you guys. I think that's a much more advanced topic to go over, maybe in an advanced course in the future. So we won't go into them too much in detail now, but if you're really trying to get down layers and to do very advanced wet sets, anime sets, wispy sets, you're going to need to, then this is a great method to expose whatever layer you need to easily. Last but not least, lesson 10.7 is lashing clients with sensitive eyes. So sensitivity, we've talked about this before as well, but it is just people who have slight irritation. So they either, their eyes get really red, they might tear during the appointment, they just might be a little bit irritated during the appointment. That is typically somewhat relatively normal. If you have a full clientele, you're gonna have clients that are more sensitive. So don't freak out if that happens. Here are just some tips and tricks with clients that are sensitive. We would recommend obviously having your consultation because that's the most important. You'll figure out what has happened to them in the past, what's worked for them, what they've tried out yet, and then you can go on from there. But definitely pick the sensitive products. They are just more gentler versions of our regular products. So for example, the adhesives, sensitive adhesives just have less ingredients and lower levels of certain ingredients so that it's not as strong, but it's still, the performance is still good, but it's just not as strong in terms of fumes or whatnot. And then there's things like sensitive tape. Again, they don't have cotton fiber, so that's good. It won't irritate the eyes. There's things like we have sensitive lid tape. So, normal tape kind of like pulls on their lid a little bit. So this sensitive lid tape is already a bit detacked and it's thinner, so it's easier for you to use on their lid. That's another great item. There's things like sensitive shampoos, which just don't have, again, they have less ingredients or lower levels of certain ingredients to make it more sensitive for those girls. I think a great tip and trick is to minimize talking. With my clients that are sensitive, if they're talking during the set, then their eyes are opening up a little bit more and then they have bloodshot eyes. So I think, minimize talking to the clients that are sensitive. You also kind of want to just get them in and out as fast as possible. So because, you don't want them laying there absorbing the ingredients or the fumes so much. So I think for those clients, it's best probably if you guys do a quiet appointment and just obviously have some good music going on. You can use, like I said, we have the super gentle lash shampoo, which is our sensitive shampoo. We definitely would recommend that. It's really popular. There's also hypoallergenic eye pads. Those are the foam pads because they don't have any fibers on them either. It's a better material for girls that are sensitive. We actually put some in a recent subscription box of ours and everyone loved it so much, so we may have to bring them back on, but we'll see. But that's definitely a thing too. Hypoallergenic tape, like we mentioned, sensitive tape. Oh, anti-allergy. I've talked about anti-allergy before, but this is a rising product because it's working so well for sensitive clients. It basically is a product that sits near your work area and absorbs the glue fumes. So you can, I'm pretty sure I've said this in another chapter, but I'll repeat how you can use it again. You can lay it right there next to your lash station. You can put ours, I don't know about other brands, but ours specifically, you can actually put it on their lid directly, so it's absorbing the fume right there. You can also put it on the gel pads directly to absorb the fumes. And then you can also, if you're a glue ring user like I am, you could put 2 glue rings almost, or even on one side of a divider ring, put your adhesive, on the other side put anti-allergy, and it is right there absorbing the fumes. But so many of our customers and community has told us that they've gotten great results with it, and it is a ride or die product for them now, so definitely give that a try if you haven't yet. Our sensitive glues, just so you guys know too, we have a regular sensitive glue that's sold on its own, and then we have our Soft Babe, which is in our Babe Adhesive series, which that one is really growing in popularity and in its ranks. Other things just to make sure technique-wise that you are doing everything you can to make sure they don't get any irritation or as little of an irritation as possible. Make sure you're not gluing the extensions obviously too close to the skin. Make sure that you are checking for stickies because those can pull on their lashes, of course. Make sure your adhesive, any excess adhesive isn't being kind of swiped too close to the eyes at all. And then also make sure that when you tape up their eyes, check under with a mirror and see that their eyes aren't super open down there, or it's not pulling it up too much, because that just exposes their eyes to the fumes more. And then another really great tip and trick is that some clients even bring saline eye drops, and they'll use that right after the service just to bring back moisture and rehydrate their eyes. That's a great tip and trick. Of course, following all the rules of making sure you check for their lashes and picking lashes that are safe for their natural lashes, all of that plays into comfort and safety as well. So those are a couple of things to do for your sensitive clients. We all have them, so don't worry, don't freak out. You know, even if they have an allergic reaction, that's not necessarily sensitive, but even in that case, just go ahead and suggest that they go to their primary care, and there's nothing really we could do about that. It's just a part of the process. I would say in all my years of lashing, I've only had really a handful, and I've been lashing for like 9 years now, only a handful that have had actual allergic reactions, but I still have clients that are just normal sensitive clients, and they just will always have some sort of irritation every time. And as long as they're okay with that and you're comfortable and you're doing everything you can to negate that, I think you're okay. But that's all for chapter 10, you guys. As always, pause the stop, go to the online course, go take your quiz. A reminder as always that one of the things you have to do to get your certification is to get 100% on all your quizzes. Go ahead and do that, you guys, and I'll see you guys back in chapter 11, which is going to be all about your fills.